Hey there, y'all. This is Jack, and happy 2024. And wow, 2023. A lot of good chapters and a lot of terrible chapters. I gotta say, but I picked three of the worst chapters I read all last year, and holy cow, wow. So yeah, it might be a little controversial on one of the ones I got, but I got justification for it, and these are listed as I would say, I want to say, uh mixed with subjective and objective. There's two, number one and two, arguably could be switched around, but I feel that character assassinations is kind of it can be worse depending on people than character world building and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, yeah, character assassination was just absolutely horrid at number one. But before we get that, we'll go to honorable mentions. This is not a manga, but I just want to throw it out there. It's a series called Special Unicorn Sunshine Rainbow. I freaking hated this series. This series was terrible. But the one that really, really got to me, the one that I think Genny personally was like, I gotcha, Jack, was freaking episode 10, where so much of the rules that were established for the going into the inner world of, I don't know, freaking care to remember that inner world's name. Just a bunch of the rules were thrown out the window, and yeah, it was just hard. The characters were just terrible. Only one character really remained consistent, and that was Copernicus. Bender, I call him Bender. Yeah, you won't find these reviews on my current channel. It was on my last channel that got taken down by Shueisha. So yeah, I won't ever review that series again. It was just terrible. It was miserable. But yeah, that was just an honorable mention. All right, number three, Luffy Gear 5. Okay, hear me out. The chapter where Luffy goes into Gear 5, actually, for the most part, I do like the form. There's just one thing I just did not like, and it just took a lot of tension away from me. Is when Luffy first achieves that form, he's fighting Kaido. And when he's fighting Kaido, they kind of both step back, they're kind of getting a second breather. And then Luffy starts shriveling. He starts shriveling up like a dried grape, like a raisin essentially. And then Kaido's like, "Oh, I see you're at your limit." And right there, I was like, "Okay, Oda, I gotta give it to you. You made Gear 5. Gear 5 seemed very OP, but he did seem to give us some limitations and like that." But Luffy was like, "Nope," and he gets his energy back, and Kaido's like, "Wait, what? How'd you do that?" And Luffy's like, because Oda's got my back," and Kaido's like, "Oh, okay." That just take. Okay, first of all, again, the form itself is fine. I like it. I was surprised actually how much I liked it. To be honest, I'm a big fan of Gear 4. Uh, Bound Man, I love that form. And Snake Man's cool too, but Bound Man's my favorite. But just the fact that Luffy again achieves that form that's cool and everything. But then he shrivels up, which implies, okay, so yeah, Luffy already reached his limit. He did some damage to Kaido, but he's already reached the limit. But Luffy's like, nah, I could keep going. He just powers back up, and it's like, really, like, so this form really has no drawbacks, right? I mean, you shrivel up because we already see in the current story, Luffy was fighting Kizaru. He shriveled up. Why doesn't he just bounce back from that? Why doesn't he just bounce back like he did with Kaido? Or when he was fighting with Rob Lucci, he beat Lucci, then he shriveled up. And again, that fight was already over. But with Kizaru, it takes future tension away. It's like, I don't buy it. Like, Oda, you can't do that. You just can't do that with story. You showed Luffy could go Gear 5, he shrivels up, and he could literally bounce back from that. With Kizaru, he should just bounce back and already but just beat down Saturn. I mean, it was just, yeah, it was just terrible. All right, number two, chapter 79. I have to list it because I was blown away by this. When freaking Ida's powers, when she used that stupid power to, I don't even care to remember the name of it, where it just like puts every, like, it omnipotent, omnipotent power that just switches everything around to where Kawaki and Boruto existences switch to where Boruto is the outsider and Kawaki is the actual son of Naruto. Oh boy, what can I say? Again, I already said a lot of stuff with that, but yeah, just the fact that Ida is already so old freaking P that her ability is so good that she could see any conversation that's ever existed from the time of her birth to current time, And not to mention the fact that when she's in love with someone so much, she could alter reality to her to the person she loves will. I was blown away by that. I was legit like just the fact like again that causes future world changing events that just completely change things to like why can't it happen again? Like obviously it could happen again. If something was ever to happen to Kawaki, Ida could just change it. And I can honestly see it can't just be memories, right? Like it literally seems like for whatever reason Kawaki is the legitimate son of Naruto and Boruto's outsider. Like everyone else except for Sadara and Boruto's little girlfriend, they're the only ones that are unaffected. We still don't know why, but I don't. That was terrible. That was absolutely bad. That was my number two. Again, I can honestly see why people would say that's number one, and I honestly, I won't argue with you because I can see why. But for me, number one is My Hero Academia, chapter 394, the character assassination of Uraraka and Toga. My close second for this My Hero is the one with Bakugo coming back from Shigaraki, like that fake out. But this is worse because I believe character assassination is just absolutely worse than storytelling. World building, I could see people being more lenient towards that. But for me, if the character could still remain consistent, it's like okay, because that could still drag to the finish line. But here, when Uraraka just let Toga stab her and was like, you know what, I just want to see you happy. I feel so bad for you. I just want to be here for you. Forget the man I love. Forget my family. Forget the world I'm trying to save. No, I want to be here for you, Toga. Toga, this malicious monster. And then freaking Toga also got character assassinated because I don't believe Toga would fall for Uraraka's words after being betrayed. Well, betrayed. More like Uraraka was doing her job trying to capture Toga, and Toga just going against that, and her leaving all her ambitions, a world she wants to live and be free, where she could be herself, a world where her friends are accept her. Her friends do accept her, but she just throws all that away because Uraraka says, "I want to be here to help you out." Yeah, yeah. The last arc of My Hero's trash. Small good stuff. Rest of it's trash. And yeah, that's my top three terrible things. Um, Let me know what your guys' top three worst things or worst chapters you read last year. I'd be curious to hear what you all have to say. But yeah, these are my three worst. Again, number one and two could argue be switched, but for me, I think character assassination is worse. But that's just me. So yeah, that concludes my video. It's short, but you know what? I just want to let you guys know what my thoughts on that on those subjects were. So yeah. Anyways, let me know again what your three worst chapters you read, or actually, you know what, three worst moments in manga. Keep them different series because honestly, I could have put two My Heroes here, but no, I just wanted one from each series. So three from different series of your worst moments in the chapters last year you read. So let me know. I'd be curious to hear what you have to say, especially from mangas I haven't read. I'd be curious to hear what you guys have to say about it. So yeah. Anyway, you guys take care and have a good day. Happy New Year's.